Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Before the radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, tuning in to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast, we're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, as you guys know, the past couple years, a lot of events had to stop or were halted because of the pandemic. But we're excited to talk about one of the events that's back, and we're really excited to talk to someone who's going to share with us not only the importance of it, but also how you all can get more involved as well. We're talking about the Department of Defense Warrior Games. They're back this year. The Games are an annual event that brings together hundreds of elite athletes to compete in adaptive sports and celebrate the resilience and dedication of wounded, ill, and even injured active duty and veteran U.S. military service members. The Fisher House Foundation is a nationally recognized military nonprofit. They have the honor of leading the family program, and here to talk to us about it, we're excited to welcome Ken Fisher. Ken is the CEO of Fisher House Foundation. We're going to talk to Ken not only about the importance of these games, but also about the work that the Fisher House Foundation is doing as well. Ken, really appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Cyrus.
So, Ken, let's start off by talking about the Warrior Games. For those who may not have heard about it before, what exactly are the Warrior Games, Ken, and how is the Fisher House Foundation involved in it?
Cyrus, we learned, through the years of our involvement in Iraq and Afghanistan that military medicine had gotten to the point where there was a 95% battlefield survivor rate. So men and women were living, but they were living with wounds that would have been fatal in previous conflicts. And so that resulted in longer hospital stays and ultimately longer rehabilitation. And so the Department of Defense came up with this concept as a tool to help with their rehabbing. And for many, it represented the beginning of a journey. For many, it represented the end of a long journey of rehabbing. And for their families and their friends, it became a celebration. We've watched smiles where, Fisher House gets involved very early in the process, where there's a lot of stress and a lot of burden, additional burden on these families. So for us, it was wonderful to be involved with because we got to interact with families at a happier time. The games themselves were found to empower individual effort, rebuild spirit, and restore their self-esteem. So for us getting involved, it was natural because we're a family-oriented foundation to begin with. But being involved in this way gives us a chance, as I said before, to be involved in a happier time.
Yeah. Ken, when we think about sports and the benefits, we, of course, think about the camaraderie, right, and the support. So I wanted to ask you, to that end, as you were talking about, what have you guys found that adaptive sports have done in helping these service members, not only with their physical recovery, but also with their mental health?
As I said before, rebuilding their spirit and restoring their self-esteem, allowing them to compete. These are very competitive men and women. These are mostly type A's. So these are people that, that are not wallflowers. They get out there, they want to compete, and when they do so, they lay it all out there. So, the Warrior Games gave them that format. It honors their service and their family's service. It educates the public not only about their situation, but about the wounds themselves, especially the unseen wounds of post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury. And what we hope is that those that watch at home, will see what is possible. There's a lot of veterans that are still suffering in silence. And by putting these on television and allowing the public to see this, if we can get one veteran that's home suffering to come forward, then we have far exceeded what we set out to do.
Love that. So with that being said, then, as I mentioned, and as you referenced as well, Ken, everyone's excited about the 2022 Warrior Games. So where can our audience go for more information and to be able to watch?
Go to our website, which is fisherhouse.org. It will tell you a lot about the Warrior Games and how they can get involved if they'd like to. The games will be held at the Walt Disney World in Florida, in Orlando, at the ESPN Wide World of Sports, and it's really something that people should see. Because these men and women, just because the news has moved off the front pages and in some cases completely out of the newspaper, it takes something like what happened with the burn pit legislation to get them back into the forefront of the public consciousness. And now that they're there, they need to stay there. They can't be bargaining chips in a bill. They can't be politicized. These veterans deserve their own legislation, which takes care of them and increases funding for their ailments. But, starting out with the Warrior Games is a great way to get involved. It's a way for you to learn more about veterans' issues and what our wounded have overcome and their families. It's just a positive experience all the way around, Cyrus, and I can't encourage enough for people to tune in and see it for themselves.
Again, that website is FisherHouse.org. Ken, we're going to make sure that we link that up for our online audience as well. Again, everyone, Ken Fisher has been our guest. He's the CEO at Fisher House Foundation. Ken, thank you so much for the great work you're doing and the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Cyrus.
You're more than welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live, part of our News You Can Use segment here at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Thanks as always. Enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Then let's go make today amazing. Take care.